blade and quill. Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's texture is water. Waterfalls are beautiful but extremely hard to recreate as a cartoon. As you can see in those two examples, waterfalls can be a challenge. I draw mine this way. I hope you will like my style. If yes, then let me show you how to do this. Let's get started. Create a new layer above your background. Grab the lasso tool and trace the outline of your waterfall. Trace 3 separate portions. Go to your color wheel and choose a blue color. Then click Shift plus Delete to fill your selection with a blue color. Rename your layer Base Color. Create a new layer and set its blending mode to multiply. Click on the brush icon and grab the airbrush linear. Set the opacity of your brush to 25% and the size to 100 pixels. Start to darken the right side of your waterfall. Rename your layer Shadow. Create a new layer and set its blending mode to Overlay. Click D on your keyboard to get the white color to the foreground. Do not change the brush setting and start adding highlights to the left side of your waterfall. Use the eraser to erase a few areas, creating volume. Click on the eraser again to get back to your brush. Rename your layer Highlights. Create a new layer and rename it Water. Grab a new brush. The one you want is called Stamp Water. Click on the brush setting and change the rotation angle of the brush to 70 degrees. The size of the brush is 108.24 pixels and you leave it at 100% opacity. Set the layer blending mode to Overlay and the opacity to 80%. Create a new layer and rename it Shades. On the color wheel, you choose a dark color. Grab the airbrush linear again. The opacity of the brush is 25% and the size is 193.23 pixels. You are adding shade on the top of all 3 portions. Grab the eraser and start erasing the bottom of each shade, then start shaping the shades. Since the eraser is set as 25% opacity, the erasing is minimal and it creates a soft transition effect between the dark shades and the blue of the waterfall. Create a new layer and name it Clouds. Grab the brush called Texture Big. The opacity of the brush is 100% and the size is 156.65 pixels. You are basically painting clouds between the portions of your waterfall. You may increase and decrease the size of your brush as you need. And using the eraser and changing its size reshapes the clouds. So keep playing with the settings until you are happy, until you are happy with your clouds formation. French, we cannot say the H sound. Alright, go back to the shades layer and you're going to decrease the opacity to 67%. Go back to the base color layer and decrease the opacity to 67% as well. Create a new layer above the background and underneath the base color. Grab your airbrush linear and on the color wheel, try to get a cyan color. Leave the opacity of the brush at 25% but decrease its size to 75.09 pixel. And what you're going to do is you're going to start painting some few cyan strokes. You're going to get some lighter cyan and you're going to do the same. And now you're going to get some dark blue and do the same. Increase or decrease the size of your brush as needed. Now go back to the base color and add more of a dark blue. Turn off the cloud layer. Click on all your layers beneath, holding the Shift key to select them and merge them by doing Ctrl+E and then turn back on the clouds. Make a copy of your merge layer with Ctrl+J, turn it off and keep it safe for later use just in case. You are now working on your copy. We are shaping the waterfall by erasing the sides. Get a texture big brush and reshape the clouds using the brush and the eraser as we did earlier. Okay, we're gonna move this layer beneath the background. So we are back on our merge layer. We are going to decrease the opacity to 86%. Now you're gonna grab the lasso tool and create a new layer that you call drops, and using your lasso tool you're going to draw shapes of water drops. Since the white color is already on the foreground, you just need to do Shift plus Delete to fill your selection in white. Decrease the opacity to 51% of your layer. Now decrease the size of your brush and start erasing the inside of the drops. You may have to go back to your airbrush linear to do so. And the size of your brush will depend on the size of your drops, so I cannot really tell you what size you need to use here. So we are on the drop layer, just lock the alphas, select a blue color and then start painting over your drops. Click D and X to get back to the white color and then start adding some little, shiny white on your drops. Make a copy of the merge waterfall. Change the layer blending mode to a multiply and decrease this opacity to 37%. So we are going to merge this layer, right click, and merge it with the layer beneath. Go to your brushes, click on the tag All, and in the search area type Distort. Choose a brush, Distort Move. With this brush, you're going to warp and move things around. So I'm not very happy about those clouds. We are going to delete the clouds layer and create a new layer, okay? With your texture big brush, you are going to recreate a new cloud. Now get a new brush in the tag texture and choose the one called Texture Splat. So we're putting just a few splats of, water. And then we'll finish everything with maybe some more clouds using the texture big brush. Alright, we are done. I understand that my style is obviously not for everybody. However, I hope it helped you understand how to tackle your future projects that may include a waterfall. I'll see you next Monday for a new tutorial. Next week will be about creating textile patterns for your characters. Please consider subscribing as this channel is new and needs all the help it can get. Have a great end of your day and I'll see you next time. Bye.